The story of Baba Banda Singh Bahadur is not just a saga of a holy man, nor it is just a story of a fearless warrior. It is a story of a man who transcended both such qualities and displayed traits associated with the divine. Not even the merciless torture inflicted on him or the cruel murder of his child in front of his eyes could deter him. He had truly acquired godliness, and that gave him the power to remain calm under excruciating pain while fighting for the cause his guru assigned to him. His actual name was Lachman Dev. He was born on 27th October 1670 in a poor Rajput family in the Rajouri district of Poonch in J&K. Once, when he was out hunting, his arrow struck a pregnant female deer, piercing her belly and killing her and her unborn baby. The agonizing sight of the blood-soaked deer shocked him deeply. This incident filled his young, impressionable mind with remorse, and he decided to renounce the world to seek penance. He became an ascetic, and Bairagi Saint Janki Das became his first guru, who named him Madho Das. Lachman Dev then learned Tantric Vidya and Yoga from Sadhu Aghornath and set up his own ashram at Nandir. Meanwhile, Guru Gobind Singh Ji had lost his 4 sons, his mother Mata Gujari Ji, and unlimited Sikhs at the hands of Mughal forces in a bloody confrontation. Much against his wish, he had to leave Anandpur Sahib in December 1704 along with his family and followers in the most challenging circumstances. He arrived at Madho Das Ashram in Nanded on September 08. At that time, Madho Das was not present there. Without permission from the ashram's people, Guru Gobind Singh Ji ordered his followers to prepare langar. When Madho Das returned, he was furious. He tried to punish and humiliate Guru Gobind Singh Ji using his knowledge of Tantra and Mantra. But all his efforts went in vain. Madho Das then realized that he was no ordinary human but a divine being. So, he fell on his knees before Guru Sahib. Smiling, Guru Sahib asked him, "Who are you?" With a voice choked with emotion, Madho replied, "Your Banda." Guru Sahib knew he was a born warrior and not meant to live an ascetic life. His destiny was to fight against injustice, and he had been sent to the world by the Almighty for a bigger purpose. So, Guruji awarded him the new name Banda Singh Bahadur. He presented him with a sword, 5 of his own arrows, a nagara, a Nishan Sahib, and a self-written Hukumnama. It had been several years, and the people of Punjab province were being tortured incessantly by the Mughal rulers. To bring an end to the tyrannical rule and to avenge the death of numerous innocent Sikh martyrs, Guru Sahib commanded Banda Bahadur to leave for Punjab. It took Banda Bahadur almost a year to reach Punjab. On the way, he got the news that Guru Sahib had left for his heavenly abode. He was filled with grief and anger and was even more determined to carry out his guru's orders. When Banda Bahadur reached Samana, he issued messages to Sikhs of Malwa to come together in the mission to kill Wazir Khan. He also happened to be the father of Jalaluddin, who had got the two younger Sahibzade bricked alive in walls. But the matter wasn't that simple. While Banda Bahadur was moving ahead with just a handful of soldiers and ordinary weapons, Wazir Khan, on the other hand, commanded an army of 40,000 soldiers, infinite arms, ammunition, horses and elephants. 20 kilometers from Sarhand at Chappar Chidi, a fierce clash occurred between the Gursikhs and Mughals. The consequence of the war was that Wazir Khan fell dead on the ground, hacked into two pieces. No soldier of his could escape the wrath of the mighty swords of Banda's forge. This victory boosted the morale of the Sikh army in a big way. Gradually, Banda Bahadur snatched independence from the Mughals for the entire Punjab and established the Khalsa Raj. This direct challenge to the Mughal rule made Bahadur Shah in Delhi very anxious. He ordered all his governors to recapture Sarhand. Due to their desperate efforts, Sarhand again fell prey to the Mughals, but not without fierce resistance. Meanwhile, Banda Bahadur had got a fort constructed in Gurdas Nangal. He took his abode inside the fort. However, it wasn't too long before it was surrounded by the Mughals in full force. He was immediately arrested along with his 3-year-old son Ajay Singh and 740 soldiers. He was brought to Delhi mounted atop an elephant fettered in chains. On reaching Delhi, Babaji was asked to dismount and was confronted with the threat: accept Islam or be prepared to die. No, I am a Gursikh and would die a Gursikh, he replied rebelliously. His child was then made to sit on his lap. Puttar, डर ते नहीं लग रहा? He asked. नहीं पिताजी. The little child smiled. What happened next has gone down in history as the most savage and evil saga perpetrated by devils in the garb of human beings. In the blink of an eye, the child was beheaded and hacked to pieces right before his father. Something no parent can endure. But Baba Banda Bahadur remained heavenly calm. There was no expression of grief or tear in his eyes, and he appeared unruffled. He himself was subjected to the harshest of torments. First, his eyes were pulled out of sockets with hot, piercing rods. Next, his flesh was torn with red-hot pincers. And finally, his body was cut up limb by limb before he was beheaded. This occurred on June 9, 1716. The Mughals might have succeeded in silencing the roar of the lion, but the lesson of bravery that the Banda taught remained a source of inspiration for the forthcoming generations. The lyrics of famous Urdu poet Shakil Badayuni seem to beautifully encapsulate the story of Banda Bahadur. अपनी आज़ादी को हम हरगिज़ मिटा सकते नहीं, सर कटा सकते हैं लेकिन सर झुका सकते नहीं.